Learning Iyar Nishmas Ahuva bas Yaakov Masechah say the Perik Dal Mishna Gimel Muberes Chavera Umaynekes Chavera. So the halacha that if someone dies, if a lady dies as a muberes, a pregnant lady dies, or her husband divorces her, or a nursing woman, her husband dies or divorces her, so now she's not allowed to get married for 2 years until the child is 2 years old and doesn't need the mother's nursing anymore. Let's say someone went ahead and married this woman and then does kinoi and stira. Like we said in the last Mishnah, that we made a drasha that it has to be dafka, a isha that's ruya linase, that you're allowed to stay married to her. And over here, the Rabbanan said that you're not supposed to be married to her. Divrei Meir, that's the Shita Meir. You are allowed to stay married to her. Why? Because you could be mafresh her, separate from her for 24 months, and then remarry her, and therefore we consider it ruya leishas. The next case of the Mishnah is Ailanis Uzakena Vishaina Ruya Leilid. If one of these three women, an Ailanis who can't give birth, or a Zakena who's old and cannot give birth anymore, or Shaina Ruya Leilid because she drinks some sort of medicine that does not allow her to have children. So in these three women also, he's not supposed to be married to her if he does not have children yet. So this is talking about a case, Dafka, that he does not have children from a different wife. And therefore, since he's not supposed to stay married to her, same as the last Mishnah, the parsha of Sotah will not apply, and therefore she will have to get divorced. He's going to be asir to her, she's going to be asir to him, and she won't get her ksuva. However, Rabbi Eliezer says that he could stay married to her. Why? Because he could stay married to one of these three women as long as he's married to a different woman to be Makayim his mitzvah pruruvuith. By the case of Ailanis, the Gemara brings a third tzad, that even Rabbi Eliezer will be maskim that there's no meisait over here, because we darshan, the pasuk says v'niksa zara, and since she cannot have children, so therefore she's a isha that's not roy to have children, so therefore it doesn't pass the pasuk, and therefore the parsha of Sotah does not apply. And finally, the last halacha in the Mishnah, which is a davar pashit, is by regular woman sharkal anoshim oishoises oileinaitis ksuvasa. They have to drink the water, or they won't get their ksuva. And others, if she says eini shaisa, then she's not going to get her ksuva. And Taisus already asked that we already learned this. So what's the chiddush of this part of the Mishnah? Mishnah Daled Eishes Kayin Shaisa Umateres Labaila. If the husband is a Kayin who's Mekana his wife, and now she's Saiser, so the halacha is that she's allowed to drink the meisait, and if it comes out that she's innocent, then she could go back to her husband. The chiddush is that we don't say that maybe there was an oinus that happened, and a anusa is asar to an kayin. We're not chayshish for such a thing, and if she was honest, then the meisait wouldn't be baidik. We're not chayshish for such a thing, and she's allowed to go back to her husband. Eishes sris shaisa. Second halacha of this Mishnah is that if the husband is a sris, so even though he can't have children, and the pasuk says mi baladei ishech, so you may think that the parsha of Sotah does not apply. Kamash malan that it does apply. She could drink the meisait, and if it comes out that she's tar, then she could go back to her husband. And the last halacha of the Mishnah is al yidei kol arayis mekana. When a husband is mekana his wife, don't be miyached with Pliny. That Pliny could be anyone, any person, even arayis, even her father, even her brother. So even if he says, don't be miyached with your father or with your brother, and she's miyached, then the parsha of Sotah will apply, and she'll have to drink the mei Sotah. Chutz min hakatan umimi she'ein ish. There are two exceptions. One is if he's a katan. So the Gemara learns it out from a pasuk that it says v'shachav ish ha'isa is dafka ish v'loy katan, that the boil is dafka a 13-year-old. The Rambam learns that this Gemara is dafka, has to be dafka less than 9 years old. But Taisus learns that less than 13, the parsha of Sotah won't apply. But that just means that she can't drink the mei Sotah. If she's miyached with a child that's 9 years and over, then it's going to come out according to that she's going to be usher to her husband, and she won't have a choice. And the second exception is misheina ish. The maskana sagamara is that it's not referring to a guy, because the parsha of Kinoi would apply to a guy if you warn her, don't be miyached with a guy. But dafka, it won't apply if she's miyached with a behema. Eina ish is referring to if you say, don't be miyached with a behema, and she's miyached with a behema, then there's no halacha of mei Sotah. It says the reason is because ain't nus lebehema, she doesn't become a zaina with a beila with a behema, and she does not become asar to her husband.